Hello and welcome. This is going to be the Trello board that we'll be using for assessment. So I just want to talk you through the board so you get used to using them, and it helps with using Trellos when we use them again. So I've split this one up into initial, diagnostic, formative, summative, 2 columns for each. And over here are a whole pile of resources and links. This is where it really helps to create a Trello account and then come into this one, because then you can post and unpost and look at things. So in this particular case, if I wanted to add a resource, and if you find a resource that you think the others might be interested in, add a card. So this one is going to be a case for a summative assessment. These are quite useful because, so I've just labelled the card. Now I'm going to put a description in there, and this is the article title that I'm just going to use by a nice chap. He's actually quite influential chap, and I'm just going to then cut and paste the link, because in this case it's a nice, so save. So, and then that means that you've got these things here that you can use as a as reference material. So in this particular case, this would be reference like this. This time, and they don't always have them, so this one has no date, so that's what I would put in there. It's the title you would search for, so in this case it's the title of this page, and that would be in italics. I don't think it'll let me do that here, but you should put that in italics, and then available from full. Of course I've just copied the wrong thing because I'm silly. So just copy the web link again. And then in this particular case, I accessed it today. Well, I've accessed it before, but there we go. 22nd of April 2021. So except for the fact that the title should be in italics, there you go, there's your Harvard reference for it as well. See? Nice, aren't I? Okay, in the session what I'll be wanting to do is add cards to them. So just as a little reminder, you've got initial, then the initial assessment here will say, gives you a bit of an introduction, so that's what initial assessment means. And there's also what diagnostic assessment means. I tend to see initial and diagnostic assessments at the same, but not necessarily the case. So anyway, there you go. Here's an example that I've done. So what I want you to be doing is taking a method. So in this case, this one here is an exam. The method is exam. I've put it in the type, which is a summative assessment. So I click on the card, and then what I've done is I've put the advantages, some advantages, I put some weaknesses, and I put the context, you know, when it would be used. You could also maybe with the context consider what settings it could be used in. You know, I mean, exams are especially useful in schools, so you could put exam context often used in schools and colleges. So there we go, often used in schools and colleges. So then I can just close that. To see a card, so there's the exam, you just click on it, advantages, weaknesses, context. So what I'd like you to do is start taking some of these. So here's a formative one. So for formative, I'm going to do a new one, and I'm going to do open-ended question, and I'm just going to note the types, such as the ones that I've been using occasionally in Nearpod. Okay, so there, and that card's now added. So I click on it, and then I can put the activity. So what we're talking about are open-ended questions. So this just describes it, which learners answer and write and answer. Oh, look at that, numbers. I don't know what that is. There we go. Learners answer by typing directly into Nearpod. The tutor can then use the answers to guide what needs to be delivered or re-explained, etc., etc. So you just give a note on what it is that you're talking about in this particular session. So probably should do that as a what. So save. So that's what it is. Now the next thing I would do some strengths. Okay. So allows tutor to see current understanding and current understanding as in Nearpod, one question can be used for all learners who answer at the same time. So there we go. And then I might look at some weaknesses. So weaknesses to this kind of method are could be does not allow peer consultation and discussion, something like that. You would see any weaknesses that you see to it. And then we do one called context. So context would be when you could use it. So I would say that can be used in nearly all environments where technology is available. So it could be used in nearly all environments where technology is available. Some will only have a particular context, like a school or something like that. So we'll go like that. We're going to, if we get time in the session, add another box, which would be, if I then just close that second, open up that card, so you can now see that those three context, weaknesses, strengths are there. We might, if we get time, and if not, this will be a homework, adaptions. How could I adapt that? So in the case of no IT or internet, then I could do where this has actually come from. Hand out cards with question on and allow participants to write answers. Okay. I might go back and I might see some other advantages. For example, one of the strengths is that this could be anonymous. Okay. So that's what I'll be wanting you to do. So now we know. I'll just close that, and then you can click on the ones that you'll see, and that will create a whole board of different types of assessment. Okay, bye.